octopuses.
Octopi.
It just doesn't sound right, octopuses. Multiple octopus.
Octopus.
Octopus,
times
plural.
2.
This week's ScubaTube is sponsored by Secret Diving Locations. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's ScubaTube. So let's get straight into the news. So a sunken ship off the Kentish coast could actually explode. It's been there for a while now, but the SS Montgomery was heading towards France in 1944, carrying weapons for the war, when it sunk over or in the Thames estuary. So over the past 70 years, divers have been clearing the wreckage of its weapons, but to this day, 1,400 tons of ammunition is still aboard.
I can feel it in my pocket.
I mean, there's still like at low tide, can't you like see the mast?
That's basically they used the mark. You'll once you get down.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah.
I haven't read the script yet. So luckily for boats sailing by the waters, the mast pops out of the water, warning them about the area and not to come too close to the wreck. This issue that the ammunition could explode anytime is due to a Kent-based film crew studying the wreck for the past 5 years. The film crew have started a crowdfunding on Indiegogo to finish making the film and show awareness of the wreck, about to basically get the government to do something about it. Or didn't they put like a big like cordon? It's like you can't go anywhere near this, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's just like a bit of rope. Do not cross this line, or you will get told off.
And a little sign. A little sign so small you have to swim up to it to reach.
God, what does that say?
Yeah. So the ship really is actually a ticking time bomb. We'll link the Indiegogo sort of page in the description, so check that out.
Yeah.
And obviously don't swim too close to it.
It's going to be like the scene out of Finding Nemo.
They said like Whitstable would have like a tidal wave if it ever went off all at the same time.
Oh, then Whitstable's going to go.
We're a bit close.
Yeah. Come up the Faversham Creek, just get this little wave. I'm surprised nothing's been done about it. It's a really weird thing. Oh, obviously it's time, it's money, the water is very murky, so it's probably very hard to see.
It's quite dangerous because they can't do a controlled explosion because whoops. And it's just so fragile. They can't just sort of They need one of those big metal like domes just.
Yeah, so what they're doing, yeah, like that, but just absolutely massive, just to cover the entire ship. Just to cover it. Oh. Anyway, hopefully that gets sorted soon, because I like living in Whitstable, and I don't really want to be underwater. So Singapore has now got its first female commercial diver. Cool. In this day and age, your gender should never get in the way of doing a job, unless there's specific jobs for men and for women, like certain models of underwear and stuff. You need to have that. Yeah. But it turns out in Singapore this isn't always the case. So it has only just become official, but Singapore has its first female commercial diver. Miss Siti, I cannot pronounce the middle name. Nakwa Tolsaman, I would say that. Tusliman, yeah. I do apologise about that. We've spoken about this about a million times beforehand and we could never agree. Anyway, spends 4 hours underwater every day or every other day cleaning the undersides of ships. So this is a job that's been said in Singapore it's only for the men, and strong men can only do it. But gladly, this trait has now been proven wrong. So what is amazing about this story is that Miss Tols, the lady in question, I'm just going to say that, got her ticket in May this year.
Yeah, good for her.
So yeah, literally got her like a recreational diving ticket, and then she's gone on to now becoming a commercial diver. She now only joins a handful of divers, okay, 63 to be more precise, in the highest standard for diving work in Singapore. So it's one of the top tier. If you're a diver, this is the job that you want to get.
Cool.
And the only other thing about the story is that she had to pay for everything herself. So the companies that she worked for, they didn't invest in her, they didn't train with her. So she had to find it all herself, which is a bit odd. But then, if you're that way inclined of a woman finally becoming part of the top tier,
you're gonna push.
There's going to be people going, "Oh, the woman doing that," which isn't something that you don't, something that you don't want. So Anyway, hats off to the lady. She done a really good job getting her SSDE license. That's what it's classed as over there. So let's hope she'll inspire other female divers in Singapore to push the boundaries. So, just bringing out a bit more, just realising that women can do same jobs.
Yeah.
As women.
Yeah, because there are commercial divers working on sort of offshore rigs and whatnot, and they're females. So.
Yeah, like in this day and age, it seems like it's a really odd thing to be celebrating or even to be talking about that this has happened. But I guess everywhere's different. Every country's different. They all have their different religions and their different, standings of men.
Yeah.
It's just,
hey, get with the times.
Yeah.
So a cannon has been pulled from its 200-year-old wreck. So back in 1811, the USS Revenge. Oh, they all have really cool names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not as cool as Boaty McBoatface.
Boaty McBoatface.
Come to England, Boaty Mc... Oh, what was it? There was a horse race. It was Horsey McHorseface and he won. Yeah. Anyway.
So the Revenge was ensnared in a reef off Watch Hill in Westerly. Orders were given to make the boat as light as possible to stop it from sinking, but of course that didn't really work. And
literally, the captain was like, "Right, everyone,
get everything off. Try and lift it up, but no.
You mate, I don't like you. Jump off the. Get out of it, Dave. Get off."
So the wreck actually went undiscovered until 2005 due to poor visibility and there being a lot of water out there. And Navy divers over the years have been diving the site to figure out sort of which wreck it actually is. They actually believe that this is the USS Revenge, but there's never been any real sort of concrete evidence. You don't often just find the bell that has Revenge written on it.
Yeah. Or, plate SSS HMS Revenge. Or you got like the Revenge was here.
But on May 23rd, the US Navy finally picked something up from the wreck, one of its cannons. So the plan is to look at the foundry marks on the cannon once it's sort of had all the 200-year-old mess just cleaned it all up, and figure out whether it's actually from the US Revenge or another ship, I suppose. So the crazy thing is that it's taken over 12 years for this moment, from sort of finding the wreck to bringing up its contents. It's not as easy as just tying a rope around it and just tying it to a lift bag.
No, you got suspicion of a 200-year-old cannon. Come on. I'm not too sure how long it took them to obviously lift it all up or anything, but I'm sure it wasn't a quick. They'd have to do stages for pressure and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it'll just fall apart.
Yeah.
If it's 1811.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the next story, we just want to talk about the Simply Scuba Logbook Binder. This binder is a great way to store all your log dives all in one place with your cert cards and your dive tables. The binder can hold either Simply Scuba or Paddy logbooks, logbook pages, and has a water-resistant cover so that rain or splashes will just run off of it. On one side of the binder, you have space for 6 cert cards, your insurance cards, or even your dive site entry card. It even features a classic 3-pen holder for when your pens and a bellowed Velcro pocket to keep all your stationery.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Obviously it looks cool because it's got the Simply Scuba man on the front. Yeah. Which I think is, what's his name? I think his official name is actually Scuba Steve.
Do we call him Steve?
I don't know. I know the marketing guys call him Steve.
Oh, I just call him Scuba Dude.
Scuba Dude. Okay. There you go. What do you think we should call the little
Simply Scuba man?
You won't win a prize. Just comment below. So, Mark, are you ready for the next bit of news? I'm going to be introducing something brand new, never seen before. It's amazing. Introducing the Scorkl. Now, before we get into the story, we have to say here at Simply Scuba, we aren't endorsing this product. It just looks cool and we want to talk about it, and it's kind of a bit of a rip-off from something else that we said. Anyway, so snorkelers are always wanted to go down to deeper depths, but without scuba equipment, and some people find it hard to hold their breath, so free diving, isn't much of an option. So this is where the Scorkl steps in. Now, when Mark, we've spoken about the Air Buddy system, and obviously I know Oceanic have their own system, very, very, very similar to this.
Just a bit.
And obviously you spoke about this in other scuba videos, but to me, I don't know, just hasn't really kicked off yet. They're missing something.
Yeah, they haven't marketed it Basically, the oceanic spare air is sold as a kind of a backup redundant cylinder. If you run out of air, your buddy's too far away, you just whip this out, you've got a few breaths to hopefully get you to the surface.
Yeah.
This is now the opposite. It's for the snorkelers that don't know anything about barotrauma or not holding your breath underwater. They, It lets you go under the water and stay under the water. And you fill it up with a bicycle pump.
But this thing has exploded. The snorkelers have absolutely fallen in love with this product. Even though we said, you got the spare air, it's very similar to that.
Just a bit.
But this thing, so the company is an Australian company. All they wanted to do was raise $30,000 to get the product started, get it in manufacture on Kickstarter, like a lot of brands do, and companies start up on Kickstarter. So far, though, as recording this, it has raised over $277,230.
More than that.
Oh, it was.
We just checked it.
It was
311.
Yeah, roughly, it was around about $311,000. So what's that as a percentage? It's like 1,000+% or something ridiculous like that.
Oh yeah, they've made their target.
Yeah, it's tenfold. But that's a serious amount of money for a Kickstarter project. But why is it so popular? Well, it's because, like you said earlier, I think rather than it being a scuba led for scuba, it's very aimed at the snorkeling, fun time, happy. It's very GoPro-esque. Yeah. I'm sure the videos popped up with the girls in the bikinis.
Yep.
It was a really hard video to watch.
That'll sell it.
Yeah, well, exactly. I've done exactly that, and the fact that obviously with the spare air, you use the cylinder to fill it up. This is just a bicycle pump, which is good for convenience. Yeah. If it actually works, but then also as well as this tastes like a bicycle pump air.
Yeah, you can't use any bicycle pump.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely manufactured. It's definitely got its target audience, and it's done that. Well, it has 311,000 is absolutely amazing.
Hats off to 'em.
And what's really cool about it as well is the bottom total. If you scroll up, the bottom total is around about, or the bottom time, should I say, for the bolt is around about 10 minutes as well, which is really, really cool.
They're kind of selling it to sort of boat owners as well. If you want to sort of quickly nip under and just clean the hull of your ship, just But
as long as you regulate your breathing and stuff, you get that 10 minutes of depth, which is really cool. And because it's aimed at snorkelers, you don't obviously dive in with it in your mouth or anything like that. You can literally hunt around it. I want to go a bit further.
Yeah.
You can take a deep breath.
Just remember to breathe out as you come up, please. Or sign up for a scuba diving course so you know what you're doing when you're breathing compressed gas under pressure. Please.
Hey, snorkelers, mate. Snorkelers are cooler than scuba divers.
Hey. So now we're going to talk about an ivory diver, moving swiftly on. Now, when you think of diving in the Bering Sea, chills normally go down your spine because, that's up like Antarctica.
Yeah.
No, the Arctic, sort of, because of the very cold water temperatures, but it's just the case for, or that's not the case, for Joe Aquella. He's been diving in the Bering Sea for over 20 years. Joe is now 51. Good for him. Yeah. And has had no reasons to stop diving in the cold waters. To top it off, it isn't even his job to sort of dive. It's just for fun.
Yeah. Just does it as he does his day's work. He then goes out with his brother and his cousin, and he just goes and dives.
Yeah. So he's never had any official dive training. He's just learnt off other guys like you used to back in the sort of original days. Yeah. It's like, oh, what you got there? And then you make it yourself, and he's just gone diving.
Yeah.
Don't try that at home, kids. Go to your local dive centre and sign up for a course. Do everything properly.
Unless you've got a Scorkl. That's totally fine. You can go in freezing cold water with Scorkl. Yeah. A couple of hours just using that little cylinder. No.
I imagine their their dive manual with the disclaimer is just thick. read all of that manual because everyone reads the manual.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Joe. He doesn't even use a scuba cylinder. He's a sort of hooker air system, so just like surface fed. And throughout the years, Joe has found all sorts of things from whale bones, a mammoth's tooth, old boat propellers, and even polar bears' shoulder blades. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's even part of the search and rescue team trying to find people who've gone missing in the waters. It was one of these sort of search and rescues where he found a mammoth tusk. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't find that where I go diving.
No. It's quite good as well because what he does, he obviously believes in conservation. That's the word. So we didn't bring it up. He just took a note of it and he's let the officials know and go, this is where this is.
Yep.
It's laying there.
FYI.
If you want to go down there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it isn't just going, oh, do you want to buy this off me?
Yeah, just make a massive scrimshaw.
Yeah.
So at 51, he's still hitting the cold waters every single day. And it's just his hobby.
It's brilliant. I think it's really great. I think you know, being 51, getting into those cold waters, you get millennials now that look outside the window and say, oh no, it looks too cold.
Spritzing.
And it's just like, yeah, I'm 51, it's my hobby, I'm just going to jump in.
So it's a great article from and.com. To read it fully, click on the link below. It's a really good read.
Yeah,
it's to learn about it.
Yeah, it's a really nice interview. It talks about the history, obviously, how we come up with. Yeah, it's just a nice piece. Sorry, this is ScubaTube, serious. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the dolphin. So let's end the show on something that's just great news. A dolphin was spotted playing with a long piece of seaweed for hours. The dolphin's been studied by people at the University of Aberdeen, which they gave the dolphin the name Obi-Wan Kenobi. Apparently he had serious skills when it came to flipping this bit of seaweed around. Hours playing with it. Yeah, so the dolphin, as I say, has got some serious lightsaber skills, and he could even give Maul the run for his money. See what I did there? I didn't call him Darth Maul because apparently people are offended because Darth Maul is when he was a Sith, but then he's not a Sith because of Vader and all. Yeah, basically, so his just name is Maul. Apparently that's a serious thing with Star Wars fans. It's not Darth Maul, it's just Maul.
I liked episode 2. That was the best.
No. Don't like sand. It's cut. Oh, I'm gonna cut it.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
Moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, Obi-Wan's mother has also got a nickname. It's called Chewbacca. I'm guessing because she was hairy. The hairy dolphin?
I don't know.
Anyway, we love seeing dolphins play in the water, you know, unless they're getting high on puffer fish.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Won't get high. Yeah, it's cool.
So that's it for this show. It's all done and dusted for this week. If you haven't seen it yet, check out last week's Weird Wednesday. It's that little eye logo up above. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, safe diving.
Bye.